Hello, my name is Angie O'Neill-Gosse, and today we will be discussing communism. I feel like we can't start the conversation about communism without first discussing Karl Marx, who is often coined as the father of communism. He was born in 1818 in the Rhine province of Prussia, which is modern-day Germany. In 1871, he wrote the Communist Manifesto after witnessing the Industrial Revolution and some of the hardship and suffering that came with it. He was inspired by Plato's notion that privately owned goods and property would contribute to selfishness and injustice. Communism seeks to terminate privately owned property entirely. The idea here is to eliminate friction and issues created by social classes by creating a classless society in which the government holds control of all the wealth and property so that all of the constituents of the society can benefit from the work done by all contributing members. This concept aims to eliminate greed. The whole idea here, and the whole concept is to avoid greed as a driving force in society for people to do things and to thrive. He was the government in the society would control practically everything. This is to include labor wages, the prices of items, property and goods, and how wealth would be allocated. In order for Karl Marx's utopian perfect world to exist, capitalism needs to be eliminated altogether. That's the goal here of communism. For Karl Marx's vision to be achieved, it would have required a complete global revolution. Obviously, that did not happen. However, since then, there has still been a lot of friction between the two social systems and the nations that utilize them. We've seen this historically in many of the wars that our nation has been involved in. To discuss a few, Vietnam was fought in an effort to prevent the spread of communism, as there was a fear that communism would spread, which was, spreading from China in that region, with North Vietnam being the first kind of breaking point there, into South Vietnam and the satellite countries around it. This war went on for 20 years before the United States withdrew, unsuccessfully, of course. Later on, the satellite countries of Cambodia and Laos also fell to communism. You can see here on this map where I'm kind of talking about, with China and Vietnam being right close to each other, and then South Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos being those countries that would later on, or those areas that would later on fall to communism as well. The Korean War was another war fought to prevent the spread of communism. This was fought between the North and South Korea with some involvement from the United States, as the United States had fear that the North Koreans' efforts, North Korea being the communist entity in this conflict, would be backed by the Soviets or the Chinese. This took place in the 1950s. As we all know, there is still quite a divide and a lot of tension in that region to this day. Additionally, we have the Red Scare and the tensions between the United States and Russia. Officially, this took place between 1947 and 1991. However, we still feel many of these tensions today as well. I can attest to this more than most, as I spent the last whole year of my life defending Europe from Russia and communist aggression as a soldier in the United States Army. Here you can see me working alongside one of our partner nations, Lithuania, in a training event. And on this slide, this is just another image. You can see this was a Women in International Security convention, or a conference rather, but you can see a lot of soldiers from many different countries Starting on the left, she, I want to say, was from Belgium. Then you have the soldier from Norway. The soldier next to her is from Czechoslovakia. That was, the woman next to her was a civilian from the Ukraine. Then there's me, obviously representing the United States. And then to my right are 2 German soldiers. Now, that's just one example of how communism and capitalism and how this whole conversation ties in, why it's still relevant to this day. But now we should get into what justice within a communist society would look like. Now, justice within a communist society would be just complete equality for all people. There's no divide, there's no social classes, nobody is above anybody else. Everything that everybody earns, everything that everyone puts out and gets and has is all the same, and it's all controlled by the government. The whole idea here of communism is to create a complete equality between all people. There is no difference between anybody. That's the goal. Now, we have literally never ever seen that executed in the manner in which it's written and it's depicted to be in this perfect world scenario. But it is a super big player in so many conflicts and global events to this day, and that is why it is so important. Thank you.